I know it's been a long time since I've done a video, so I thought I'd use this video to help update you guys as well as show you some cool Wim Hof breathing method techniques that I've been playing with the past couple months. I've also been doing breath of fire much like Kron Gracie, and I think some of this stuff's really cool and incredibly helpful for your jiu-jitsu. Now, to update you guys before I get into that, the last year and a half or so I've been training out here in Utah. I actually switched gyms. I was teaching a kids program and just putting my head down training hard. I tore 2 different MCLs over this course, and I spent a long time rehabbing, and then have since actually taken silver at Nogi Worlds is probably the most notable thing if any of you guys care. But other than that, I've just been putting my head down and training hard every single day. I'm opening a gym in 2 months. It's a dream come true. I'm actually affiliating with Kron Gracie, which is nice. He's going to be there for the grand opening, which is an honor that I never imagined I'd be receiving. So I'm very excited, and that's where all my time's been going. That's part of why the videos haven't really been made lately. But this Wim Hof breathing technique it's unbelievable. It helps you survive the cold, and I think it's really cool, but it's also expanding your lungs, working on increasing blood flow in your system. All the cold therapy, of course, is good for muscle soreness as well. I could probably list off 20 different benefits to this that I think it's giving me, but more scientifically, you could look it up, or you could just read about Wim Hof, and there's probably hundreds of them that I haven't even mentioned that would benefit your jiu-jitsu and your overall well-being in life. Mentally, I feel better. Physically, I feel better. And then, of course, the Kron Gracie breathing techniques, a lot of the same benefits. So I'm going to demonstrate a little bit of the Kron Gracie breath of fire. Then I'm going to go outside in the snow, see how long I can last without letting my core temperature go down, just trying to control my immune system. And then I'll come back in, do a little more Kron Gracie breathing. I'll try to fast forward through the boring stuff, and let's leave it at that. Thanks, guys. So, obviously not as much control as Kron or Rickson have, but I think it's been really beneficial for my digestive system and also just controlling new muscles. When I feel like I'm rolling now, there's new muscles that inside my core that I feel like I'm using that I haven't before. Can help a lot with obviously breathing in a very relaxed way. Best benefit you could imagine, you know, breathing deeper, breathing more controlled. If you ever watched Kron Gracie train back in the day, lots of crazy breathing sounds, but I think a big part of that is he's really concentrated on working around his respiratory system. So that's a little bit of breath of fire. I'm actually sweating a little bit. It will heat you up really fast. Very impressive stuff. However, this Wim Hof method, it's even better, guys. It's unbelievable. If you don't know who Wim Hof is, I recommend looking up the Joe Rogan Experience, little clip of him showing Joe exactly how the Wim Hof technique works, but I'll give you a quick summary. The guy's climbed mountains in his shorts. He's got the world record for sitting in frozen water for the longest amount of time without dying. And a lot of science behind it. It has been tested and vetted by scientific methods, so it's not just like all voodoo BS. I believe in it. I've tried it. I've felt the feeling. You get incredibly high off of this. And it could be your brain deprived of oxygen, but the problem is you get this high while you're breathing, so I find that hard to believe that that's the only reason. I also get tingles all over my body that feel much like when your circulation gets cut off, your limb falls asleep, and then when it wakes back up, those tingles you get Very similar feeling, and why you get those tingles is oxygen from your blood rushing back to your system, which is exactly what Wim Hof describes this whole breathing method to be the goal of, is basically to re-oxygenate everything in your body. So I totally buy it. I'm in it. Even if it's a placebo effect, I've been loving it. So I'm going to start the method in here, and then I'm going to take it outside and see if the breathing can keep me in the cold for longer periods of time. I've already been doing cold showers, but it just snowed outside, and I think that's going to be a lot better test. Here goes. Now I feel in an altered state of mind, little lightheaded, but also I can just feel oxygen pumping all over my body. It's very hard to describe, and I recommend just looking into the methods if you're going to get into it. Now that I'm in this state, I'm going to keep doing the breathing method, but I'm going to take it outside. I will feel cold. I've done this before, obviously in the shower. The cold hits you, you go into a little bit of shock, but once you get over the initial goosebumps and shivers, you start to feel lukewarm. Everything starts to kind of heat up. Your body basically starts going into survival mode. And the idea is you can control this, and we've always had this ability to control it, but it's kind of atrophied, or we've lost that ability over time because we've lived in such average and what is this called? Luxurious conditions, pretty much. You know, we used to live in harsh conditions, and now we're not as tried. Our bodies are not battle tested. And so doing this breathing method, going out in the cold, it's trying to get me back to my roots, basically. At least that's how I like to think about it. Anyways, let's get started.
I really want to read. Alright. As long as you're not doing it just because I pressured you into it. Once.
So you noticed when I first went out there, I was shivering. But after a couple deep breaths, you can kind of push your body back into the survival mode. And everything kind of calms down, warms up. I will say my feet are still pretty numb. However, not cold. There's wind blowing right now. I can feel it hitting me, and I know if I wasn't doing this technique, I'd be shivering my ass off right now. It's pretty amazing, this power. But I think more importantly, it's the places your brain goes. You know, hallucinations, they kind of feel warm, you see some colors. More importantly, I just feel like I get peace of mind from it. It's a very meditative, holistic experience. I mean, if you're gonna pick a way to get high, I think this is just about the healthiest way to do it. I don't know how long that was. I think I could have stayed longer, but I'm also trying not to make boring videos, and who wants to sit and watch a guy sit in the snow for an hour? Feeling great. If you have any questions about the Wim Hof method, I mean, if you look right now, don't really have much signs of cold on my body. However, I don't know if you can see my feet. They're covered in dirt and ice, a little bit of crap, and I'm starting to shiver now because I stopped doing the breathing technique and my body is still very cold. And this is actually very impressive. It's called the aftershock. Basically, if I don't do the breathing technique, my body is gonna start getting hit with all these chills, and I can feel it coming right now. Like starting to get very cold, right? It's because I did all that talking and I wasn't really doing the breathing. I wasn't really getting my mind or my body in the right place. You know, I need to stay in control of everything. So you'll see right now I'm starting to shiver a little bit. You see the lips? I can't control my mouth. That's shivers. But this is fucking sick. Watch this. Just start doing the breathing again. And all of a sudden I'm warm again. That's real power. You can't fake that. Very much.